The year was 1241. Europe, divided among kingdoms and princes, had little warning of the storm that was about to descend from the east. Far beyond the Carpathian Mountains, the Mongol Empire, forged by the hand of Genghis Khan and now ruled by his grandson Batu Khan, stretched across the steppes like a tide of iron. These were no ordinary raiders. The Mongols were masters of horse and bow, lightning fast in movement, disciplined in formation, and ruthless in conquest. Their scouts rode far ahead, spreading terror before the main host even appeared. Villages on the frontiers of Poland and Hungary spoke of demons on horseback, who could loose a storm of arrows and vanish like smoke into the plains. Survivors were rare, for the Mongols left few alive to carry news. By the spring of 1241, tens of thousands of mounted warriors crossed the frozen rivers into Europe. Their banners of black horsehair streamed in the wind. They came not as wanderers, but as conquerors, with maps drawn, cities marked, and armies led by seasoned generals. Europe's rulers barely understood what they faced. To them, the Mongols were shadows from a distant world, a threat whispered of but never believed. Yet the truth was already galloping westward. The storm of hooves had begun. Spring 1241. The Mongol storm had arrived at the very heart of Europe. After burning and raiding their way across Poland, the horde turned south into the Kingdom of Hungary. King Bela IV, desperate to stop them, gathered one of the largest armies Hungary had ever assembled. Knights, infantry, and crossbowmen massed along the river Sajo, near the village of Mohi. Behind their fortified camp, many believed the Mongols could finally be stopped. But the Mongols had no intention of a simple fight. Led by Batu Khan and his brilliant general Subutai, they devised a trap. By night, one wing of the Mongol army attacked the Hungarian bridge, drawing attention and forcing the defenders into a frantic defense. Yet while the Hungarians rushed to hold the crossing, Subutai led a second army through the shallows upriver, unseen in the darkness. At dawn, the Hungarians believed they had repelled the assault. Trumpets sounded, knights cheered. And then, from behind, the thunder of hooves came. The Mongols had encircled them. Arrows rained down like black snow. The Hungarian knights charged bravely, but the ground turned to chaos as horses stumbled over barricades, men fell in confusion, and the Mongol cavalry struck from all sides. Smoke, fire, and panic spread through the camp. By nightfall, the Hungarian host was shattered. Thousands lay dead, their banners trampled into the mud. King Bela barely escaped with his life, fleeing west toward Vienna. At Mohi, Hungary's strength was broken. Europe's gates now lay wide open, and nothing seemed capable of stopping the Mongol tide. The spring of 1241 had left Europe shaken. In the east, the Kingdom of Hungary lay devastated. Villages burned, cities ruined, and its great army destroyed at Mohi. But Hungary was not alone in its suffering. Far to the north, Poland had already felt the Mongol storm. At Legnica, Duke Henry the Pious rallied knights, Templars, and Teutonic warriors to resist. The clash was fierce, but the Mongols shattered them with cunning and fire, Henry himself falling on the field. Across the continent, whispers spread. The Tartars are coming. Panic gripped Christendom. Refugees poured westward, with tales of horsemen who seemed like demons, striking with smoke, thunder, and endless arrows. Even in Vienna and Prague, rumors ran wild. No fortress was safe, no army strong enough. Yet at the very height of their triumph, the Mongols halted. As Batu Khan prepared to march further into Europe, toward the German states, perhaps even Rome itself, messengers arrived from the east. News of the Great Khan's death reached the horde. According to Mongol law, all princes of the blood must return to Karakorum to elect a new ruler. And so, just as suddenly as it had begun, the great invasion ceased. The horsemen turned east, their tracks fading into the steppe. Europe was left bloodied but alive, spared not by its own strength, but by the call of fate from faraway Mongolia. Still, the memory of fire and thunder lingered. For generations, the shadow of the Mongol horde haunted Europe, a reminder of how close Christendom came to ruin. The year 1242 dawned with Europe still trembling. Hungary lay in ashes, Poland in ruin, and the armies of Christendom broken. Many believed the Mongols would return in spring to finish what they had begun. But fate had other plans. From the distant capital of Karakorum, news echoed across the steppe. The great Khan was dead. Batu Khan, though eager to press westward, could not defy tradition. The princes of the blood were bound by law to return east and choose a new ruler. Thus the Mongols began their long withdrawal, through the snows of Hungary, across the Carpathian passes, and back onto the endless steppe. They rode eastward, leaving only destruction in their wake. Europe watched in awe and disbelief as its darkest shadow faded, yet the scars remained. Entire villages were gone, fields untended, and churches lay in ruin. Chroniclers wrote of the horde as demons sent by God to punish mankind. For generations, kings and popes would shudder at the thought of their return. The Mongols never came again in such force. But in the memory of Europe, the thunder of hooves, the smoke of burning towns, and the fear of an unstoppable horde remained etched forever. The invasion had ended, not by Europe's sword, but by destiny's call from faraway Mongolia. And so the tale closed. The horsemen vanished, but their shadow lingered.